Good evening and welcome to 27 Minutes here on WJTS 27. Preparations are well underway for the 29th annual Jasper Strassenfest that will kick off next Wednesday night with the Queen's Pageant. The Jasper Strassenfest is one of Indiana's most popular community celebrations. The bulk of the activity will center around the Jasper Courthouse Square. This year's theme is Born of Rich Soil, a celebration of Jasper's agricultural heritage. There is a new chairman for this year's fest. That is Ron Flick. The host and hostess are Mr. and Mrs. Virgil Gress, the president of the Jasper German Club. Jim Peter, the Purdue Extension educator, will serve as the parade grand marshal. You can join WJTS 27 for all kinds of Strassenfest related programming, including the Strassenfest live program Thursday morning at 9 a.m. as we talk to the Queen, Little Miss, and Mr., as well as Chairman Ron Flick and other Strassenfest committee members. Officials from Memorial Hospital and Healthcare Center, with assistance from their counterparts at Riley Hospital for Children and the IU Cancer Center in Indianapolis, held a joint news conference this week. The three medical entities jointly announced a telemedicine partnership. This video conference capability offers patients at Memorial Hospital with an opportunity for a virtual doctor's visit to Indianapolis, but without the traffic. Here is Memorial Hospital CEO Ray Snowden, along with telemedicine office visit from Dr. Norma Crowline.
This technology has been made possible through a very generous donation from Master Brand Cabinets to Riley's Children's Foundation, which in turn purchased the equipment for Riley Hospital for Children to install here at Memorial. Greg Stoner, the president of Master Brands, is here with us. You're going to hear from him a little bit later. But I would like Greg to personally thank you and Master Brands for that donation and for your dedication to the health of our regional community. And I'd also like to thank everybody at Riley, IU Simon Cancer Center, and the entire Clarion Healthcare System for making this technology available to us.
We have Larry here, and we were going to demonstrate for everybody the stethoscope capabilities and discuss the telemedicine. I would say for things like dermatology and neurology, and for many things, it would be ideal for the patient not to have to travel. Probably the one limitation I would imagine is when you have to actually examine the patient's belly or that type of thing. That type of thing would still need to be done person to person, correct?
Yeah, but it's amazing how many visits can be done by telemedicine. There have been a number of studies out. This is not an area of expertise for me, so I'm not familiar with all of them. But you can just imagine the amount of time that a family can save, and then the finances associated with it. Heck, even if you don't factor in losing work, even if you don't factor in all of the emotions of having to pick up and drive and be gone all day from morning till night, just the gas money alone today for many families is prohibitive. Now, for many of us, it's not a big factor because it's not a problem for us. But for most families, just the gas money to travel, 150 whatever miles, 100 miles one has to go back and forth, and then to lose work and time and all the stress on the family, and it's just astounding how financially beneficial telemedicine can be, in addition to the decreasing the stress on the family.
Well, from our part of the state, that's particularly a problem because we're an hour from the nearest Riley satellite in Evansville and 2.5 hours from Indianapolis. So it's really, I couldn't agree more. It really is a major benefit for this part of the state to have this type of technology to save it when you can, because quite a bit of the time a parent can practically cut in by 20%, have 20% left on the original amount of time they spend in their day. So it's really wonderful.
Yeah, it's really amazing. I think we're just beginning to see the benefits of it. I think I was a skeptic 10 years ago, or maybe even 5 years ago, I don't remember the time, that it would really be beneficial. And that was also when the technology was not nearly as good, including just that, that kind of, whatever it was, a 2-second delay almost in talking back and forth, kind of like like you have on cell phones, except magnified 10 times, as well as the technology of looking at X-rays, reading the X-rays, reading EEGs, reading echocardiograms. It's amazing how the technology has changed. And I think, for example, our pediatric cardiologist here, they review, I believe it's something like 3,000 pediatric echocardiograms a year that are done throughout the state and are sent here electronically to be reviewed by them. And it's just wonderful. So we get to listen to, I'm sorry, what's the young man's name?
Larry.
Larry? I'm sorry?
Larry.
Hi, Larry. I'm Dr. Schreiner. How are you? Great. Good age. Yeah. Are you a sports person?
Yes.
What do you play?
Basketball, football, and baseball.
Basketball?
Football and baseball, one of each.
Fantastic. Wow. Yeah, I was never very good, unfortunately. But I tried.
Okay, you want to give it a try?
I hope I can hear this thing. I can, even with my plugged eardrums, I can hear. That's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
Take a deep breath.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Let me look at that thing on your arm, too. I'm just being funny here. My wife and adult children tell me I am not very successful at being funny, but I keep trying. Yeah. Can we get a close-up there at all or not? I don't know if you can or not.
You got a close-up on that.
Pardon me?
Sure, they have the exam.
They may not be able to. Okay, that's all right. I'm just kidding, Larry. Okay.
Do you have a freckle we can look at?
Sweet.
He doesn't have any freckles or anything, Dr. Schreiner.
They have the exam. They're trying to move the camera.
Oh, they're trying to move the camera. Ah, there you go. Gotcha. Yeah.
It's just like a handicap. That's what you're showing him.
Great.
Looking good, Larry.
I can turn the light on that
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I was going to say it actually could
There's
be
a
used for
light.
a lot of, where's the light?
There's a light on the back. Yep. You just look that. Yep. There you go.
That's good.
I've never done this before.
Right. Yeah.
Flip you back. There we go.
And I don't know if there's a significant potential for linking up with telemedicine between the Riley program here in Indianapolis, as well as I know, Norma, you just kind of mentioned our Riley program at Deaconess in Evansville, and there may be some benefit, I don't know, of doing that, and I just don't know yet. But hopefully that will be the case, because we're certainly doing this in South Bend, we're doing it in Fort Wayne, and your doctors and nurses can participate in our educational programs. They can see grand rounds that we have, which is for you non-medical people, that's a weekly lecture conference. And for example, the pediatric cancer doctors in South Bend and Fort Wayne, they both participate in what's called tumor board. So every kid that has cancer gets thoroughly reviewed carefully with a team of 10, 15 experts in all different fields, and they go through and decide, and argue and discuss the literature and talk about who's doing what in New York or in Texas and what's the best treatment. And those are kind of just some of the wonderful opportunities that we've had with telemedicine.
Well, as Dr. Schreiner said, I'm Greg Stoner, president of Master Brand Cabinets, headquartered here in Jasper, Indiana. Obviously, the focus of the morning is all about the telemedicine and the technology, and so I think it's safe to say the stars of the event are Norma, Larry, and Dr. Schreiner, because it just gave you a brief glimpse over what the capabilities of using technology to our advantage can do. But on behalf of all the associates of Master Brand Cabinets, we're very pleased that we had the opportunity to partner with Riley's Children's Foundation and bring this technology to Memorial Hospital. We have a long history of supporting our communities in all of our locations, and it's especially rewarding when we can undertake initiatives such as this that can benefit so many and for such a long time into the future. The addition of the telemedicine capability here at Memorial allows patients to really get that real-time expertise and consultation of all the professionals in the Clarion Health Partners Network. Without, as Dr. Schreiner said, without the need to travel, even an hour is a long way, much less 2.5, 3 hours to get to a location at such a difficult time as when you're undergoing even routine medical treatment. So it really is a huge benefit, not just to Jasper and Du Bois County, but all the surrounding communities that Memorial Hospital supports here in town. I'll keep it short and sweet, but I would like to congratulate Ray and Memorial Hospital for really laying the groundwork for this technology that doesn't only make a difference in how patients are treated here today, but it will continue to drive improved health care for everybody who can be benefited by it in the future. So on behalf of Master Brand Cabinets, congratulations, and we're very pleased that we can be part of bringing this reality to Memorial Hospital. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Definitely we're talking about the strain on patients and how to make that trip. How often do you see something like this being able to be used in what you do? I mean, do you refer lots of patients to different that need that kind of extra care, and you think this will really help maybe open some doors for people who maybe couldn't make that trip?
I was just going to ask Ray if we could put it in our office when it's not being used. We call Riley on a regular basis to discuss things with physicians, and have kind of gotten used to over 18 years being able to describe things over the phone. But this would certainly simplify, I would say probably 50 to 80% of the referrals that we make. It really has a wonderful application. There are some times where in order to get certain treatments, they're still going to have to go to Riley. But for follow-up, to establish a diagnosis to begin with, it will save families many trips. There are certainly going to be times for specialized treatment where you want a procedure to be done, or a certain diagnostic test that can't be done here. That still is going to require travel time. But when it's just for establishing the diagnosis of the physician seeing the patient, that can be done without the trip, and that would probably save families many trips, even if they need a particular treatment. Sometimes they have to see them first and then schedule it, for a surgery, for example, many times, especially for urology, many of the times for the urinary tract, they can see them like this, and many times not have to see them up in Indianapolis at all. It's not going to eliminate the trips up there for surgeries, but to see the physicians, absolutely, I think it's an extremely valuable technology.
And like you said, you would go as far as say possibly 50 to 80%.
I would think potentially, yeah. When it's not going to eliminate the children that you have to transfer for treatment or procedures, or the time where it's particularly critical to lay a hand on the belly and feel something. So that number of cases, you still have to have that contact. But I would say even with them in person, there's just such a value to seeing the patient. And it's such wonderful technology to see the patient that if you're side by side with the patient, even if you can demonstrate things for the physician watching it, that, depending on the contact, is going to eliminate potentially even feeling the patient, because they can see the response to an exam or that type of thing. So it certainly has a tremendous amount of potential to eliminate a trip. And from this area, I would say in particular, it's a long trip to Indianapolis. Riley, the doctors at Riley and Dr. Schreiner will attest to this, and we talk to them all the time, are just unbelievably accessible by phone. And to add this to it just is a real gift.
Stay tuned. We'll have more 27 Minutes right after this. Are you hungry? Here's dinner made easy.
Today we're zesting up the old chicken salad with an unlikely ingredient, margarita mix. This non-alcoholic mix adds just the twist to make this meal a delicious surprise, and it's on the table in just 30 minutes. First, I'm going to make the dressing for this salad. In a bowl, I'm adding my margarita mix, olive or vegetable oil, and white wine vinegar. And whisk until blended. This is what we'll use for drizzling over the individual finished plates. This salad can't be easier or prettier. These chicken breasts are basted with some of this dressing and grilled. Okay, in a large bowl, add salad greens, the chicken, some strawberries. Toss and plate this up. Now arrange some mango and avocado slices around each salad. Pineapple or grapefruit work fine here too. Just have fun with this dish. Sprinkle with a little chopped cilantro for a kick of flavor, and drizzle with a little remaining dressing. And look at this, a tangy and refreshing Southwestern-inspired meal with the surprising flavor of margarita mix on your table in 30 minutes. For this recipe and many more, go to the website.
The college football season is right around the corner. Indiana will be under the direction of Bill Lynch, who will take over the Hoosier program from Terry Hepner, who passed away tragically earlier this summer. The Hoosiers would love to carry out Hepner's dream of playing in their first bowl game since 1993. We had a chance to talk IU football with Coach Lynch.
We felt like we got better. We really did. I think being the third year of the program has helped. Yeah. The staff has remained consistent, and what we're trying to do offensively and defensively has been a big help. And we've played some young guys who are getting older. And I just think that we've got more depth in important areas. I think we've had some pretty good skill position guys the last couple of years, but I think both sides of the ball up front, we're a bigger, more physical looking group, and I think the experience that our young guys have gotten is certainly going to pay off in the fall.
What about the progression of Kellen Lewis back there? He's made some great strides, I would think.
He really has. We felt a year ago at this time he was going to be a talented quarterback. We didn't know how fast he could come along, and then he kind of got thrown into the action, and as the year went on, he made great progress. And, he's a talented guy. He can make a lot of plays, but the more he learns about not only our offense, but playing at the speed of Big Ten football, he's going to get better and better. And I thought he had a really good spring, and he's going to be around most of the summer, working with our receivers and all. So if he keeps making the progress he has over the last 12 months, he's going to be a guy that's really going to help us, over the next couple of years.
Saw Brian and Joe here. Could you touch on the defense a little bit?
Well, I think the same thing there on defense. We've got more team speed, and I think that's the number one thing that Coach Hepp wanted to bring to the defense was speed. And we've some of our younger guys have gotten older, and we've gotten faster. I also think we're a more physical group up front with more depth. There were times last year where, we had to play with certain guys, even maybe when they got tired or dinged up a little bit, where I think we've got more guys that we can throw out there. And we've got more guys that can do different things. I think we've got some pass rushers off the edge, and we've got some big guys inside, and like the way our linebackers run, and, and then, our back end are our corners have, both Majors and Porter have started quite a bit. And I think moving Nick Polk from wide receiver to safety is going to be a big help there as well.
You're a veteran of coaching in Indiana. What's the state of high school football in Indiana? I know you try to win the state recruiting. How's high school football in Indiana now?
It gets better every year. It's interesting. We were talking about that in a staff meeting just this morning about that, the number of guys that come out of this state and play, Big Ten football. We got guys from down here playing at Notre Dame. I mean, really top-level college football. And then the number of guys that play in the Mid-American Conference and in 1AA, Division II, Division III. So I think per capita, the number of football players that come out of the state's amazing. I recruit a lot in Chicago, and there's more football schools playing in that area than we probably have in the whole state. But yet, the number of quality players that come out here, and I think it's a great credit to the high school coaches. I think to the schools, and I think the summer camps and all the things that have taken place in this state to where kids work at it year-round have certainly helped as well.
Coach Lynch and the Hoosiers start the season September 1st at home in Bloomington against Indiana State. That will wrap up this edition of 27 Minutes here on WJTS 27. For the entire crew, I'm Kurt Gutgsell. Have a great night.